Hey guys, welcome to the Big Hairy Ugly channel. No introduction, no nothing, just me itching my neck and being raw. You can see things are kind of barren back there. We have an offer on our property. We're moving out, building a house, all that kind of good stuff. But it's been a while. I want to update you guys. It's been a crazy month for us selling our house, and I've been just extremely drained. Weight's been holding steady and not going up, not going down, just a lot of stress. And we're just kind of trying to hang tough. But I got big news. I'm going to be getting back into running, or I'm going to be running a 12-hour endurance race. Long story short, about 8 months ago, I think last July 2022, there was the last run I had over an hour, and something happened around last July. I was just randomly walking down the stairs. We live in a we have a downtown property and we live upstairs and our work is downstairs, or my wife's business is downstairs. And I was just randomly walking down the stairs and something really bad happened in my knee. Like you could just tell something really bad. It felt like something tore. And It just was brutal for 2 weeks or 2 months. I couldn't walk down the steps. I had to go one step at a time, one leg at a time, and I could barely walk. And it got worse. This is going to sound ridiculous, but I had a hard time getting out of bed for 2 months and swelling, and it was just I could not work my legs at all. It was just I was 100% convinced I needed surgery. So, in the middle of the night, about 2 months after that happened, um, I had, I don't know, diarrhea, whatever. We're adults. We can talk about it. I got up out of bed. My stomach was upset. And I went to squat on the toilet. And it felt like it felt like something ripped off it just felt like something went wrong, right? Something went dramatically wrong in the knee, and it went from really bad to oh no. So basically for the next, I don't know how many months, at least 4 months or whatever, I knew I was done. I couldn't walk up steps. It was one leg at a time. I couldn't train legs. I tried training them at the YMCA with my wife, and I couldn't even barely do leg extensions. The pain was unbearable. I couldn't put any weight on it, and I was 100% convinced that I needed to have surgery. 100%. Never was more sure of anything as far as an injury in my life. I was like, nope, this is going to be my first surgery. This is going to be my first surgery. I'm done, right? I kept putting off seeing a doctor about it. And you know, the funny thing is I started wearing knee wraps about 2 months ago. And I was able to squat with 75 and a 95, and I was able to do it 4 months in a row, or 4 weeks in a row. I started doing the leverage squat with knee wraps, and I was able to progressively improve it. And all of a sudden, my knee started to improve a little bit. Just started to improve a little bit for the first time since last July. And I don't know, over those 4 to 5 weeks, it just started to improve. I really don't know what happened. I really don't. And last week, I decided to test it to see if I could run because I was really terrified of going uphill, that I would injure it or aggravate it. And a funny thing happened. It almost feels normal. I'm still a little bit hesitant, because I just spent 8 months thinking, in bad pain, swelling at night, thinking I was going to need knee surgery. And I honestly don't know what happened. I honestly don't know what happened in my knee and why it feels better. Maybe it was just a really aggravated injury. I didn't do a lot to perpetuate, the injury. I didn't do a lot to, you know, try to keep re-aggravating it. I wasn't working out during this time, but anyway, last week I started running again. Let's get to the point, right? Last week I started running again. I went straight out after not running for 8 months and ran for 80 minutes. Mildly winded occasionally at a couple points, but went out and ran for 80 minutes on the trail. Not a pavement run trail. And yesterday was my fourth run in 8 days. And yesterday was just like I never left running. It was just a solid 80 minutes. I'm listening to a podcast, and I could have kept going for 4 hours yesterday. It was just ridiculous. So, I mean, obviously, I got some training to do, but I decided to give myself a challenge to get the weight loss moving again, to get the focus moving again, to kind of move past the stress of moving and selling my home. So on July 15th, I signed up last night for a 12-hour endurance run. I have 84 days, basically. Alexa, how many days until July 15th?
July 15th is in 88 days.
88 days. I got 4 extra days than I thought. That's good. So I got, basically 12 weeks. I'm going to try to get my weight down as much as possible before then. I'm going to use this as motivation because obviously this run is brutal. I'm going to describe it in a little bit, but it's going to be in the middle of July, and a trail run in the middle of July in West Virginia. It's hell. I've ran this twice before. It's absolutely brutal. I've done 5 trail runs, extended endurance runs in July in my life. They're all freaking brutal. The first time I actually accomplished a marathon, trail marathon, was in July. The first time I actually accomplished a 50K was during a July run. They're hell. They're like running in the cool. I can go all day. Running in the heat, it's brutal. So the race I'm going to be doing is in Cacapon State Park in West Virginia. 12-hour endurance race, starts at 7, ends at 7, and it's one of the most challenging and beautiful courses I've run in my running career. Just tons of vertical, tons of elevation, tons of unique formations, and you have rock outcroppings at points. You feel like you're running like a billy goat over these giant jagged rocks, and man, it's just something else. It's relentless. Now it's a 5-mile loop, and you have 12 hours to do as much as you can. The first time I did this, I hit a trail marathon. It was a very emotional experience. I did it at Cacapon. The second time I did Cacapon, my wife got just awfully sick during the run. The problem with heat is if you don't allow yourself to cool down, anything you drink or eat just stays in your stomach because your body has to use your blood to cool the skin, right? So the blood's not really working at digestion, and this impacts some people more than others. With my wife, she um, she gets. I mean, she struggles a lot. She'll drink and drink and drink and drink, and she won't slow down. And then she'll just get to the point where she just pukes and pukes. And last time at Cacapon, I started to get quad cramps, and she caught up with me halfway through, like loop number 4. So we're like 17 miles in, and I had to basically walk her back, carry her back. She was just profusely vomiting. She must have vomited like 20 times, and I could tell her epic story. She got back, thought we were both done. She had 25 miles and I had 20. Thought we were both done, and she rested an hour, allowed her body a chance to cool. She was still vomiting at that time. Went back out and completed a 50K, and then came back and vomited more. So the heat is just brutal. The terrain is brutal, And this is going to be a challenge, man, but I fucking love it. I love it. And this is the stuff I live for. I love lifting. Lifting is my passion and my career and my main focus. But man, right now trail running is something like 8 months ago, 6 months ago, 4 months ago, I thought I'd never run again. I literally every day I'm never gonna run again. It's over. You know, you kind of reach a point. I'm 55, and you kind of think I'm done. I'm just absolutely done. It's just reality. I'm going to have surgery. It's going to take 6 months to recover. And then I'll probably never train legs again. That's kind of the things that go through your head. But I'm excited to say I'm going to be returning to trail running in 88 days. I have 88 days to get my body lean and mean. We're going to get back on track. And I appreciate your guys' support.